for the Make Smoke History Junior State Motocross Championship. My name's Morgan Melbourne to take you through the call of the 50cc demo. It will be myself and none other than Graham Winters. Yeah, a few of them just got on the loud pedal a little bit easier. But Brax Manion on bike number 91 and Evan Foley on the 11, the two riders, they got off to a great start. So too Hunter Near, Kalani Fisher. But we've got the T1 and T2 back of Randa and Jackson O'Grady. The two twins are back.
Some of the riders are really diminutive in stature, and they've got to get up on the bricks to get up onto the bike.
Yeah, it's Evan Foley that will lead him down the front straight for the first time. We've got two number 11s actually. And actually he's going to be the T1 behind him. So the 11 of the T1 looking ever so similar, but they're running first and third with the 91 of Brax Manion in second. But look at the T1 get a great run through the front straight, and he's right behind him as we've got one rider down as well. And this is the best thing about the 50cc demos. They do get the help of getting off the bike and the help that they need to get the bike up, back and running.
Yes, well, it's not about helping your own rider out there, it's about helping everyone.
As they're all over the place and the T1 has gone down. So now the T1 and the T2 have both gone down to the same corner. And that heads to Evan Foley to lead from Brax Manion in this demo. Yeah. Yeah, as that is Nate Chittick, but he's just got passes. The little Pee-wee's 50. He's even got the feet out, just trying to push it along the front straight as we've got a few other riders going down. The number 4 of Ken Ackland, who has done every round so far this season. He looked like he was trying to go the big boy track around the outside, but he's been given the help. Nate Chittick also with some dramas on bike number 1. Actually, we've got a couple of number 1s out there. As Ken Ackland is getting his bike back up and running. So to another rider, not too sure who that is. I think that would have been the T1 of Ryder O'Grady. There's the 629 of Cooper Holden on the Husqvarna. And the 263 of Jax Cuttress, who's more just head than anything else. I was very lucky for the number 11, Evan Foley, almost went down. Giving a great choice is Jackson O'Grady on the T2, who's got past Brax Manion on the 14 MX Development KTM. As a few other riders are in grief. Kalani Fisher on bike number 9 joins the one of Nate Chittick on the KTM. But the 5 minutes is almost said and done for this. It is just a straight 5 minutes for the 50cc demo. And none of these really are counted. The laps aren't counted. It's more just a get out and have some fun for these riders.
Kate Cradle goes through there on the C bike for Mum and Dad looking after her. And interesting stuff here. Some of the riders getting ready for event number 3. They're so quick and ready to go. Here's Kalani Fisher goes through past our contribution.
As a few riders have gone down, that was the 91 Brax Manion who went down, and now the T1 of Ryder O'Grady as well again joins him. So Ken Ackland, who's trying to give it the whole push through, facing the wrong way as well, was just gone down.
Oh.
But no checkered flag out just yet, as what you would call the lead pack riders have come through, which has really been shortened down to just the one rider, the 11 of Evan Foley, as track conditions make it a little bit too hard, as one rider along the front straight is right up against the berm. Ken Ackler getting the push up, that large tabletop you would call for these fellas. Anyway, they're only small. Most of them are just head.
Yeah, and the bridge is out there, and there's the antics again of the guy in the orange top looking after bike number 1 out there for Nate Chittick, and he'll probably stand there and hope that he doesn't come off in the little Yamaha, and just really give it his best shot out there, young man.
Checkered flag is out, as you can see on the bottom left of your screen, so this one's all wrapped up and done. So fun to see the future of our sport having a bit of fun. A few riders went down, but nevertheless, we're still very enjoyable to watch. And I do love the 50cc demos. I reckon they're unbelievable to watch.
Well, it's great that they're part of the program here, proper, and involved in it, even though it's only a demo, of course, and hopefully that never changes unless they become a real big part of the format. But interesting, and we just love it.
One thing I hope that doesn't change with these riders is the amount of fun that they have and the enjoyment that they get out of riding these events.
Yep, and the camaraderie between all the parents and guardians. You know, they help.
Camaraderie is what you meant, didn't you?
Yeah, that's
we get really bad with our words today, aren't we?
I couldn't find it in the dictionary anywhere before I said it. Yeah, it's good that they can all get together and have fun on the racing circuit, as well as watch their kids and be part of the meeting here.
Field of 23 to start this one. This is the 85 to 150, 9 to 12 years. And look at that gate. Look at the view that you will get of these riders coming straight to your face. As you can see, it bottlenecks very quickly as well. And luckily, with only a field of 23, one rider is going on the extreme right-hand side and trying to find the number of that rider. It is riding a Kawasaki. That must be Jack Baker on the Savage Engineering. Oh, J.O. Booker, apologies, on the Dingo Australia KX Kawasaki. So we've got still waiting for a few riders to greet the judge in this final one. The sweep still making his way through the track as one rider, he still thought he was running. Didn't see the checkered flag come out.
Yep, Tyson Silvestro looking very excited down the bottom there as one of the competitors in event number 2. There's number 1 heads back in there. That's Nate Chittick. One of the sweeps has come around. Still one more onto the racing circuit before we get underway. So you can start us for this one if you like.
We won't, because we're set for a gate drop in race number 2. 10 minutes plus the 1 lap. As the 5-second board is out and we're underway.
Beautiful dispatch.
Great drop at the hat as the middle riders have come through, and it looks like Husqvarna will lead it on bike 165. Tajmore with a great start.
Turn 1 is absolutely unbelievable. 6 or 7 riders down in that one big dump down there.
Cater Monier straight away into second place and looking to the inside, and will easily take the lead. A great start from Tajmore. He'll lead the first 2 corners. But it's all the KTM of Cater Monier, as you already said, a few riders went down, and one still trying to find the kick pedal to get the bike back up and underway. But they're all chasing Cater Monier on bike 104 in the early stages of race number 2.
Well, the race has been, to date, fairly easy in terms of being able to pick, I guess, the top 3 fairly early, and we would love to see all the other riders getting amongst them. But at the moment, Cater Monier certainly blasting away from the pack very early, and certainly setting a real crackerjack agenda for everybody else to follow him through.
I was very impressed with the start from Tajmore on bike 165, the West Coast Motorcycles Husqvarna. It looked like he got off to about a 3 bike length lead, but that was very quickly eradicated by Cater Monier. As we already said, he's been over to Estonia to ride the World Motocross Championship, finished inside the top 5 in that, or for the 65cc category. So it's no mean feat, but a good start from our top two riders as we wait to see the rest of the chasing packers. He's actually darted away so far from anyone else. As really, the rest of the field has spread themselves out like Browns cows. Manir will lead lap number 1. And a good lap time from Tajmore. But the battle looks like it's going to be for third place. As look at those riders come through. A big pack of 4 of them. Right behind Tajmore, headed up by Charlie Whiteman, Kai McGinnity, Sonny Pelicano, and Jake Rumans in that battle for third place.
Charlie Whiteman, I haven't seen much of Charlie around the place lately, and he's got that KTM going absolutely marvellously well for him at the moment.
So there's 3 of them all abreast behind the 165, and we'll keep our eyes on that third place battle as that's where they are coming past your camera right now. Very close. It's Whiteman that leads that one from McGinnity and Pelicano. From there, it's Jake Rummins. Connor Weiss runs in 7th. Then it's Indy Radcliffe, Nate Graham, and Chance Napier. You'll get where everyone's running if you've got someone that you want to yell, scream, and shout about. They'll be on the top left of your screen as they'll run from position 1 to 23. Manir, Moore, and Waitman are your top 3.
Riders have got stuck in turn number 1. Has been able to get the machine mobile and in with the help of some extra pit crew out there, but great to see him back out there and still going. Have we got a name for him at the moment? Jet, is it? Jet
Kean was that one, as here is your third place battle out on track. Headed up by Whiteman still, but there's not much in it between McGinty, who really has been on that brisk of a third place all season long, as Whiteman really hasn't shown his sights, as it looks like Kai McGinty on the 407 has got by both of them. So a great run from McGinty, who was 5th place past the line, now up to position number 3 as your leader comes across the line to complete lap number 2 with just 4 minutes almost completed in this opening moto.
Rider that got into trouble out there as well was Patrick Butler, and he's one of our favourites on the racing circuit. He's mine anyway, and looks though he's got a fair bit of a job to do, almost being a lap down at the moment.
So that we have lost Charlie Waitman actually on the 352, so it's now only a 3-way battle, and they're side by side for 4th place, very close. Pelicano has got Jake Remens breathing on him, all over him like a rash, but losing out big time was Rumens, and Pelicano will sit closely in 4th place and now ready to charge Kai McGinty, who's back in his original 3rd place position where he's meant to be all season long.
Yeah, just having a look at Caden Manir and Sonny Pelicano are, along with Nate Graham and Ricky Skalecki, are all members of this club. So I was wondering why Pelicano was doing so very well out there. Of course, this is his home track, and certainly getting used to it and dialed into it very, very well so far in the opening couple of laps of this journey.
Exactly right, and we have clicked by the halfway mark of this one. It is a 10-minute plus 1 lap affair for the opening moto, the 85 to 150, 9 to 12 years. And we are still eyeing off this battle for 3rd place, as McGinty still really hasn't been able to shake off Sonny Pelicano just yet in the 111. Pelicano's really keeping well and true in this opening moto, and they have lost what was a very close battle. It was a 3-way battle, but Jake Rummins has fallen by the wayside. So only 2 riders fighting it off for this 3rd position, but your leader is a running way rocket horse early on. Caden Manir with a massive lead of 15 seconds, as here comes 2nd place of Tajmore. 3rd is still McGinty from Pelicano, with Jake Rummins just starting to fall back throughout this race.
Yes, indeed. Just having a look and see how McGinty gets around this circuit. He seems to have adapted fairly well to the racing conditions here, but an awesome start to the racing here today at Wanneroo, and great to see the involvement of so many parents and guardians and competitors here today. And as we said before, home track advantage here. Pelicano is doing extremely well at the moment, but there's some good riders out there. McGinty, Moore, and Caden Mania proving to everybody that he knows his way around here, and of course this is his home track.
So a bit of a coming off for Chance Napier because he was running quite comfortably inside the top 10, now fallen back down to 12th position on bike 620 as Charlie Whiteman. He's also gone well back. He's back down in 9th position after having such a great start. As there's Jake Rummins on the 547 machine. He's a rider that was in that close battle for 3rd place, but sadly it's only a 2-horse battle between McGinty and Sonny Pelicano. Your leader has gone back into the 1 minute bracket, a 1:54. It's still not his quickest lap. His quickest, a 1:54.611. His last time round was a 1:54.5856. So we can say that Manier's laps are very consistent throughout this entire race. As he again comes past the judge, we'll have to see how far his margin is between Taj Moore and himself, with Moore really all by himself running a lonesome race in 2nd place. Clear from anyone else really, as McGinty still holding on to Sonny Pelicano for 3rd place.
Yep, just having a bit of a look at Patrick Butler making his way through the field slowly there after getting into trouble on the opening part of this event. And at this stage, he's made his way through the field and is currently sitting in about 16th and 17th position. So that's not bad for him at the moment.
Yeah, 17th place. He was the rider that went down on that opening lap as well. And it took a long time for him to get back up and going. And just to say his last time around what his laps were compared to his counterparts around that 16th to 18th position. J.O. Booker at the moment's running in 16th. He was a 2 minutes 30. Patrick Butler was a 2 minutes 4. Yes, so the gap is just going to disintegrate very quickly. And I wouldn't really rule out Patrick Butler being close to a top 10 before this race closes out.
Yes, indeed. And, of course, when they come down in such a manner as they did on the opening lap, there we lost 4 or 5 riders in one shot there, and it's just amazing that they can get back on their bikes. Some of them get the wind taken out of their sails, and very quickly they've got to adapt, get the bike going. Of course, that's the most important thing, and once they do that, they've got to just get going and as quickly as they possibly can and pick up whatever there is left of the threads to try and make something of it.
So he's still waiting for that rider to come through of Patrick Butler, as in fact he may not even get higher up because he's now a lap down as Caden Mania comes past to complete another lap. He'll have 2 to go now because we are right down to the business end of this opening moto, as just hard luck for Patrick Butler. He has moved up to 16th, but he really won't get any higher being behind a lap down already. So Mania, as Moore goes past, 26 seconds is that gap. That's astounding.
Well, the track conditions are absolutely perfect for motocross racing here at the junior level, and really the race leader is charging around this track very, very quickly, as Morgan said a moment ago. What's happening back there, Mo?
We're just watching the eyes on that 3rd place battle again, because both riders had to come by a lap competitor of J.O. Booker. And I really thought it was going to close in, but it was a great run through for Kai McGinty, and Sonny Pelicano just was hampered trying to get past that lap rider, which is really not going to help him out. So we can tell you that 1st and 2nd are gone in this one. The battle still is for 3rd place. Then it's Jake Rummins, Indy Radcliffe. Charlie Whiteman's back up to 7th place now on 352. From Connor Weiss, Jack Backer, and Luca Romano now rounding out your top 10 as Nate Graham falls back to 11th place after running as high as 7th.
So this is a race of fluctuating fortunes for all of these riders out there at the moment, particularly in the top 10. Up and down they go in terms of being in their placings at this stage, and Taj Moore is proving to be top of the Wazza, apart from the race leader Caden Munir at the moment. So this is very good for Taj to be able to get round here in pretty fine style for West Coast Motorcycles today.
Last lap board is out for Caden Munir, who have one more lap to complete, as the Octane Fabrication board is out for all these riders, as it looks like Patrick Butler is still going up. He's now up to 15th. So maybe by following Caden Munir, he might get close to the top 10. I said it was going to be close, but it won't be enough really when it comes to the point situation. So run luck for himself. Still running in second place is Taj Moore, as it's going to go to the line for third place between McGinty and Pelicano.
McGinty looking very colourful out there at the moment on the racing circuit, and absolutely nothing in between these two at the moment. McGinty goes through turn one on the raceway, past the Alvin's plumbing supply sign there, and does it very well. Pelicano right on the job, and is starting to close that gap just a little bit out there at this particular moment, and I reckon McGinty is probably the quickest of the riders out there at this stage, mate. Getting in a quick lap time last time around.
Well, it's still Caden Munir that's the quickest overall.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then it's Taj Moore. So they really, the way they sit from 1 to 5 is the quickest riders overall, really, because none of that has really changed. But we can say one man has been on top. They all say the cream rises to the top. Well, it is 110% true when it comes to this kid on bike 104. The KTM Australia, Mandurah City KTM back rider with one more corner left to run in a dominating opening stanza. For Moto number 1, your winner and a go-to-way win goes to Caden Munir. Dominating performance in today's opener.
Yes, our man down the bottom there's got to get out there with that red flag to indicate to the riders they need to head back down the entry gate back into the pit area.
As I don't think that last one was a lap down, but nevertheless, he lapped up to 13th place. Chance Napier, the last one to get lapped. Patrick Butler will end up coming home in 14th position. So not a bad recovery for the Husqvarna. Second place goes the way of Taj Moore. Some 35 seconds behind. It was 34.942. As just at the line, it'll be Kai McGinty from Sonny Pelicano as they cleared away from Jake Rummins. That'll be your top 5 for the opening moto.
Looking for Hayden Hills, Amber Boland, Jax Wilkinson, Olivia Webster, Rick Skalecki, Nicole McDonald, Javier Mutter, Dylan Walsh, Lily Hunt, Braden Porter, Brax Mannigan from the demo group, Sari Lowe, Connor Weiss, Rail Selway, Jai Bathurn from the demo group, Keenan Murphy, Madeline Druitt and Seth Manuel. We need your representative out there ready to go after this one. You need to be out there right away to for the second round of duties for flag waving. So the first group are ready to knock off, and we need you ready out there for round number 2 of our flaggies. Hey, we don't get much time to muck around here. We had to do that very quick one for our flaggies, mate. And we are straight on with the job once again with our group of riders for event number 3 on the program today for Boxline Industries. And hopefully we'll be able to give you the starters and riders. having the bike on. Liam Atkinson out there on bike number 27 for Minty Diggers, Demolition, Trackline and West Sounds. Hayden Hills on board the Yamaha from Collie on bike number 29. Cody Chittick riding today on the familiar bike number 39 for B Firm NRG. Love to have a drink. Yamaha Yamalube and Just One Racing. Seth Manuel on bike number 59 for Battery World and NEXDEM. Brock Flynn on bike number 60, the Husqvarna from 14 MXD Perth. Matty Lee riding today for Sea-Doo Sport and Leisure. Jordan Johnson on bike 152. Gareth Elliott is scratching. The other riders in this group are Connor Hughes on the Suzuki from Rickgill Motorcycles. Evan Brown on board the KTM from Mandurah City KTM. Jay White, the Yamaha for all plant inspections. Will Rush put in a pretty good performance in the practice session today on board the KTM for Unique Racing and Faint Obsession. Ray Pizzino on bike 367. Riley Frank Hewison on bike 471. And we are set to go 5-second board out. Atkinson's not going to get the start that he wanted out there on the racetrack. He's going to have to work pretty hard here. That was an absolutely awesome dispatch by everybody. And once again, a couple of riders down in turn number 1. In fact, we might have 3 of them down there at this stage. So a lot of work going on, 2 of them, and they're just getting right on with the job. And Atkinson has he cleared out at this stage.
One of those riders was Brock Flynn as well, so that could be big news come final time here today when it comes to the overall. And the other one, it looks like just couldn't get the number of that last one. But I think it might have been Jake Turner on the 604. So 2 of the big names down early in this opening moto for Boxline Industries. But a runaway for Cody Chittick on bike 39. The Yamaha getting the start he needs.
Well, he didn't have to do anything out there, Cody Chittick, because that all happened behind him in turn number 1 there. And interesting that 2 of our top of the Wazza riders have come down, and their task now is going to be very hard to move further forward from here. And Cody Chittick, well, just coolly and calmly sitting out in front, and he'd be pretty happy with the way things are going. And it's all a matter of whether Atkinson now is able to manoeuvre his way past. And there is some changing happening all as we speak at the moment.
Surprising as well, there's a lot of yellow flags out through the back section, but we've got a 2-horse race out in front. Liam Atkinson is starting to close to complete lap number 1 of this opening stanza for Boxline Industries. Chittick is your leader, but just not much, as Atkinson was a little bit out of shape. He looked sideways into that opening turn. 10 minutes plus 1 lap this affair for the 150 to 215, 13 to 16 years. Good run as well from Seth Manu, who runs in 3rd place, and it's Will Rush and Jay Wright. Brock Flynn back up the 10th place already after coming off. So too Jake Turner, he's 12th. Then it's Connie Hughes, Matthew Lee, Jordan Johnson at the tail of the field. So we'll watch our rise on Brock Flynn in 10th and Jake Turner in 12th. To see what they can do in this remaining 7.5 minutes. But your leaders, they have cleared off.
Yes, indeed. Atkinson is a rider that's unsure about where he should be, whether he's going to find his own line or he's going to follow through with Cody Chittick. And you'll see some parts of the circuit there. He makes up a lot of ground, and other ones Chittick gets away from him out there. And it's a matter of the young rider back there on machine number 27 to work out his own line and get it going quickly as he can.
Some cases you'd rather be the chasee, some cases you'd rather be the chaser. At the moment, with all this clear air and really a track that hasn't been run that much, as Atkinson has gone down. I was about to say it was going to get close, but Atkinson has thrown it away. The 27 has gone down. He'll lose 1 position to Manuel, so the 59 now up to 2nd place. Atkinson, he seems to have it all go right, but just one moment every race meeting seems to cost him.
Yes, indeed. We could have put the commentator's curse on him, I think, at that particular stage, but it certainly went well for Manuel now, who has suddenly moved right up on the scene here, and Seth Manuel getting it right together. There he goes through turn the end of the straight there near the small speedway section of the track, and gets himself mobile around there so fast. Manuel. Atkinson back on the model again, and working hard to make up the leeway between himself and Manuel.
Can't forget as well, Brock Flynn, he is up to 7th place. Make it 6 with a big move over Jay White around the outside. don't hold back on bike number 60 just yet. But second place is where our eyes is again for the second weekend in a row. Our eyes are on second place.
It's all happening all the time out there on the track. A couple of riders that are doing fairly well out there at the moment. Evan Brown and Will Rush, Jay White, and of course Brock Flynn, who's got a bit of work to do out there, but not doing a bad job out there. And certainly one of those riders that is able to match it with the top guys out there at the moment on the track.
Well, the gap between Manuel and Atkinson was 2.6 seconds. I think that gap may be even widening it out more because Atkinson really isn't even on the same path as of yet of Kane Manuel on the KTM. So it's a Yamaha that leads 2 KTMs in your top 3. With half race distance just coming close, has Atkinson got enough time to get past Seth Manuel?
He's going to have to ride fairly hard if he wants to.
One rider we have to watch out as well, 310er Will Rush. Maybe not the first race, but usually the final race, he just comes out with an ever so surprising run, really, and is always right up in the mix of a win, if not a podium finish. He runs in 5th place at the moment as the gap really between 2nd and 3rd still stays the same. It's 2.2 seconds between Manuel and Atkinson. Atkinson was 0.4 of a second quicker, but he really needs to step that up as watch out for bike 60. Brock Flynn is on the charger now into 4th place. Trying to fight back on the outside is Evan Brown, but it's going to be to no prevail from coming off on turn number 1. Brock Flynn now inside the top 4.
What's the distance separating first and second, mate?
Well, first and second, it's separated by 6.2 seconds. So Chittick is gone. But he's not quicker. He was a second slower than Manuel Atkinson that time around. So maybe with these two pushing each other in these last stages, Chittick may need to get the hurry up.
Well, I think Manuel has been told to get a move on and get going quickly. Yeah, Manuel's been told to get going as quickly as he possibly can at the moment. He's got to do the job on Atkinson, but he's getting right up behind the race leader.
Well, with these two pushing, as I think one of them just went down in that last image that we saw. We'll have to find out if that was the case or not. I think it was on the 27th, so he's still up and mobile. But these two pushing each other to the brink may see them close up on Cody Chittick. It's a comfortable lead with 7 minutes remaining as Chittick will come past the line. We'll see what that time around was. That was a 1:48.3 for Cody Chittick. And there's nothing separating 2nd and 3rd again. And they are closing in, not by much. It's now 6 seconds flat. But the gap between those two riders in 2nd and 3rd is absolutely nothing. Atkinson on the back tyre.
Yep, he's trying every trick in the book he can, Atkinson, to get past at the moment. Manuel's got to work so very hard. He had a brief moment out there on the track, Manuel, but Atkinson is the one that's providing the pressure and making Manuel work all that much harder on the track.
Brock Flynn still isn't at the same pace as the top 3 as of yet, but Liam Atkinson was 1.3 seconds quicker than Seth Manuel that time around and is right there now, to the point where he has to change his lines to find a way through.
Atkinson with the pressure right on him at the moment out there. He realised that he should be up there in second position, but Seth Manuel's been able to manoeuvre his way to a very comfortable position out there, and I can see they're going on the back part of the circuit there, the far part of this particular racing circuit here, and Manuel is really working very hard on the track, but none better than Atkinson at the moment.
Well, he may have to block the kitchen sink because it's about to be thrown by Liam Atkinson. He goes around the outside trying to block his line. Is Seth Manuel the bottom way around, the shortest way, the ideal way? Manuel has to look behind. Don't probably do that just yet because Atkinson can find a spot to the outside. Your leader is long gone. We'll forget about him. The race is for second place. Manuel holding on just as here comes Atkinson on the inside. The 59 holding off the 27. with just 1 minute to go. It's not going to happen. The switch over not working. Atkinson back to third place. What a ride to the inside out. But it didn't work the outside in for the 59, who holds on to second place.
This is the race of the day, and we're only up to the opening part of the race meeting here, and what a race between these two riders at the moment. Seth Manuel working that track as hard as he possibly can at the moment. Leon Atkinson doesn't know many more tricks in the book at this stage. Certainly plenty of action happening between these two riders at the moment. Manuel Wedding went across that bridge, as you heard Morgan say, had a look over his shoulder, and I wouldn't have been doing that up in the air, but that was the time that he did it, and there is just nothing separating these two at the moment, and Manuel now has got to choose his lines more carefully because Atkinson is trying to wear him over.
They're still closing in on Cody Chitting. It's now into the 5-second bracket, but lap riders may help out as well. Don't count your chickens before they hatch for this opening race, because next time by they'll get the Octane Fabrication last lap board. Seth Manuel, you called it the race of the day. I'm calling it the race of the series so far. To the S-bend they go again. Manuel continually on the inside line trying to hold his aces up, but Atkinson with a big charge. The outside line keeping the horsepower. Manuel fights back, and Manuel back to second place. Well, you'd expect this to be the race for the lead. It's only the race for second place, your leader, with 1 to go. But forget him. Manuel has had all the answers for Liam Atkinson, who's actually fallen by the wayside in that last section.
I've got to tell you, this is the best we've seen from Seth Manuel for a long time, and great to see the young man back on board the machine riding as hard as he possibly can at the moment. Atkinson is everything he can to try and get past Manuel, but that's not just happening at the moment. Of course, Cody Chittick long gone out there at the moment, and just interesting to see now whether Seth Manuel is starting to draw away a little bit out there at the moment from Atkinson, who is just about resigned to the fact that he's probably going to slow things up a little bit out there and just stay on board for third place.
The Panadol's going to be needed early with the lung buster that we've had in this opening race. Atkinson has showing everything at Manuel, but Manuel has just been able to fight back. Give him the Defense Rider of the Year award if there is one, because Atkinson has almost thrown everything at him as one rider is calling up the ghost. The 367 of Brandon Pisano has to push the bike over. But what a ride from this man to hold Liam Atkinson at bay, and has actually rode away from him in this last one. Hats off to second place as we have to reach our leader, and as very shortly will become our winner on bike number 39. The Yamaha on the final lap will lead from go to woe as he comes past. Cody Chittick takes the win. Second across the line, and you have to give him a round of applause. A gallant effort from Seth Manuel to come home in second ahead of Liam Atkinson. Brock Flynn should be scheduled to come home in fourth place, who had to ride through the field in that one after coming in at last place in the opening quarter. Comes through to greet the judge in fourth. So Chittick, Manuel, Atkinson, Brock Flynn, as rounding out your top five will be Jake Turner from Evan Brown and Will Rush. The gap was 4.629 seconds in the end, so Manuel was closing in. Then it's Atkinson and Brock Flynn to round out your top four. The quickest lap of the race was by your leader with a 1:45.449 of Cody Chittick.
Yes, indeed. Could we have the people that are concerned with the next round of flag waving duties to move out there for round two? You need to be over at the scrutineering shed right now, please. Those people for the second round of flag waving duties. You need to be out there right away, and we won't call the names out. You know who's involved. You need to be out there for flag waving roster number 2, and you need to be down at the scrutineering shed right now.
Do you have... You don't? And they're like flying in front of you and you don't mind? Can you still hear me? Yeah. What? It will be a long day.
Quad riders lined up ready for their next event here. This is a 60 to 90 group, 85 to 125, and the age bracket here is 8 to 12. And our sweep just indicating that he's ready to go. 15-second board goes up. We've got Jack Lobb out there on the Yamaha, Braden Porter, Harley Young, Sari Lowe, Rowan Schmidt, and Riona Schmidt riding on 262 and 632 respectively. 5-second board is up. 3, 2, 1. We are ready to go. Watch for the start from Riona Schmidt here. Pretty good start. An awesome display there from Braden Porter as they sneak across the left-hand side of the track there, and a very good start here from the Yamaha of Braden Porter. Not going to be in the lead for long because I think Jack Lobb has already made a big move around the outside, and of course Porter was on board the Yamaha. In fact, we got the majority of the bikes in this one are all Yamahas, with the exception of Harley Young on bike number 87, who's riding the Husqvarna today on the racing track and doing it very nicely. This is the first moto for this group today, event number 4 on your program here today at the home of motocross racing today, the Wanneroo Junior Motocross Club, for event number for round number 5 of the Makes Making History State Junior Motocross. This is an absolutely awesome meeting. Sun is shining beautifully well here today, and everybody enjoying themselves as the quads go through the opening stanza of their very first lap on the racetrack, and the one that got away to a very good start in Braden Porter is struggling out there at the moment. Braden back sitting in 5th or 6th position at the moment in this group of riders. So a pretty good start from all, and I would hazard a guess that young Jack Lobb on machine number 16 has got away for Body Empire Clothing into the lead for the start of this one, and getting some very good shots. Very importantly, we need quad 80 and bike number 59. Seth Manuel, we need your people down there to wave flags for us. Quad 80 and bike 59, we need you down at the scrutineer's shed ready to wave flags for us today. And this is the opening moto of the the opening moto for the quads today, and as we said, a field of 6 riders out there at the moment, and they're 3/4 of the way through their very first lap in this one here. And the guy that, or the rider that got going there very quickly was Harley Young, right at the start there. A few interesting changes taking place on the track at the moment there, getting some good shots of Rowan Schmidt and Riona out there on the track at the moment. So it's happening, and happening pretty well here today at Wanneroo for this terrific race meeting. Great to have everybody involved here at the Wanneroo Junior Motocross Club. And of course, this is part of the smoke-free event here. Absolutely good stuff here as the riders are heading around now for what will be their first lap here in the quads, and some awesome coverage and shots being taken today. And we do hope that everybody is enjoying the action here today. And of course, we've got the riders coming around here for lap number 1. It will be Jack, who has got away to a pretty good start and is handling the situation fairly well. Jack Lobb at the moment doing it very nicely with a pretty good start second one to go through there. And also another rider that's made up a fair bit of quick ground out there is Sari Lowe. And so Sari sitting back in second now. And the rider that's got a few issues out there is Braden Porter, who's gone through. So some interesting stuff, and there's a bit of the action happening out there between Sari Lowe and certainly one of the other riders would be Harley Young, involved in that one. So the big gaggle of bikes all locked up together there at the moment. There's three of them certainly providing everybody with a bit of action out there. So Harley Young, Sari Lowe, Braden Porter, Rowan Schmidt, Riona Schmidt and Jack Lobb out there. And Jack not going as quick as what he was just a little while ago.
So a good start as well, as this one isn't as long as our opening two stanzas. And well, have been very exciting races. This only over the 7 minutes plus 1 lap affair for the quads. A small field of only 6 as Jack Lobb of bike number 16 is actually scheduled right here as only completing his second lap. And usually for Lobb, he is the quickest rider overall, so drama for Lobb, but it's going to be Harley Young that leads on the 87 from Braden Porter, who was quick time in practice, and Sari Lowe, who round out your top three. So the 4 riders from 1 through to 4, very close within each other. In fact, it's only 9 seconds separating them and 4 from the leader. Harley Young, that time though, was the quickest rider on the track with a 1:44.763. So a great start from Young on bike number 87. And we'll probably be hoping to clear away from Braden Porter. So a good start is what you really need when it comes to these sort of events. And when you have 2 extra wheels, these motocross situations, it's a little bit harder to get past than riders with just the 2 wheels. As one rider's come through, that looked like that was Riona Schmidt on the 632, who is stuck in that S-bend that's already seen a lot of action. And sadly for the quads, not the action that they really want to have.
No, actually at the moment, the rider is trying to do some mechanical repairs on the bike. Probably not a good place to do that right in the middle of the circuit where the rider is stranded at the moment. Actually one of the riders went through and threw the bike sideways and actually gave him a bit of a wheel on the way past.
So Jack Lobb, who now runs in 5th place, is the quickest rider on track. So it's not very often that we see the rider running in position number 5, or what is really second to last, the fastest rider on track. But Harley Young and Braden Porter still run through positions 1 and 2 from Sari Lowe and Rowan Schmidt, as Lowe and Schmidt have fallen by the wayside, with Harley Young clearing out to now a 5-second lead over Braden Porter.
Yes, we need quad 80 and bike 59. The Manuel family, you need to send somebody down there. If you don't, you're right, it won't be competing for the rest of the day. So quad 80 and bike 59, you need to be down there ready to wave flags now.
Yes, because we will be changing flags after this event. And we are getting close to the end, so the last lap board will come out next time around for these riders.
Yes, indeed. They give me the wrong information, which sometimes happens. It's quad 81 we're looking for. So quad 81, please get down there right away and forget about what I said, quad 80. Quad 81, we need you down in the flag waving area right away.
So they're getting close because Harley Young got past the line at 7, but it is a 7 minute plus 1 lap. So they really are getting an extra lap in this one. So dramas for Lob. That time around wasn't his quickest lap overall. But nevertheless, still charging away to try to catch up to Harley Young. But sadly, time is not of the essence for Jack Lobb, Harley Young, Braden Porter, Sari Lau all come across the line. And it's getting close for third place now. Sari has got Rowan Schmidt right on the back tyres of the 134. As the gap between them is very, very quickly closing, and around the outside goes Rowan Schmidt. So Schmidt now to third place ahead of Sari Lau. And it really is a sad situation for Riona Schmid at the moment on bike 632. They still haven't been able to get her away from the track, and she's just sitting on the bike and probably praying for a miracle at the moment for that bike to get back and underway. So Young, Porter and Lau as the rider on bike 87 will take the win. A great run for Harley Young, who will take the win in moto. Number one, the second across the line will be Braden Porter on the 33 machine, who had a good run in the end and should be very happy with a second place finish. Sari Lau will be third from Rowan Schmidt, Jack Lobb, and rounding out your field, sadly unable to complete a lap, will be Riona Schmid. So Rowan Schmid, the last rider to complete a pass on that last lap, gets the better of Sari Lau. Then it's Lobb and Schmid.
Yeah, that stranded rider out there still unable to get the machine mobile, so the pit crews had to go across there and retrieve it. And we're still looking for bike 59 and quad 81. If you're not down there straight away, you place at jeopardy your rider for the rest of the day. My apologies to our people that are looking at me to press the button all the time. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. I do apologise for that, and we hope that we can keep you on your ball on the job right throughout the day, and keep me involved as well. So the quads with another one through, and we've got the next group of riders already up there. As we said, some issues down there with one of those bikes. They cannot get it off the track and out of the way. Event 5 coming up.
We'll take a quick break as we wait for event number 5, and we'll thank all of our awesome sponsors here. I'll make Smoking History Junior, State, Senior and Motocross Championship for this season.
All right, riders on the grid there ready for event number 5 on the program today, the 50cc autos, 7 to 9 your age bracket, and they are lined up. We have the riders, Deegan Ford on bike 102, the Cobra, for B-Firm NRG. We've got Noah Thomas on the KTM for Risk Racing on bike 105, yep. Ryder Bolin on 108 for Emmett's Crossing, and Maddington Hyundai, Sol Pelicano on bike 112, riding today for Savage Motorcycles, and We Buy Your Bike. Brax Johnson on 179 is scratching his Cooper Clayton today. 15-second board is up. We've got Charlie Butler out there, Albie Reeve, Van Haverly, Nate Tomarini, Ollie Burkett, Sonny Fyford, Mason Brown and Lily Hunt. 8 seconds to go, down to 5 very quickly. They don't waste any time, and we are ready for the gates to go open. Beautiful start by all riders that time, and Brax Johnson got away to a pretty good start. This is the modified track that these riders very quickly head across there and take a shortcut onto the infield. Mate, an awesome start by the 50cc group out there, the autos.
The autos, and this is 7 minutes plus the 1 lap in what could be none other than a picturesque day. Welcome, and hopefully you back and rejoined us for this after that short break that we had before we had the change of flag. As it looks like it'll be Mason Brown that will lead him on lap number 1, and Mason Brown, there's a big thing about him as well in the program today. If you haven't got one, make sure you do, and shows a bit of the history of this Wanneroo Junior Motocross Club and Pinjar Park.
Yes, you can find out all about the club history here. And of course, since 1973, they've been producing champions from this course who have gone on to bigger and better things all over the world in their racing career, which is just awesome for a track of this nature.
And the best thing about having a modified track, obviously with the 50cc's, the laps are done a little bit more quicker, so we'll be able to give you more information a lot more quicker about this one, as it is a Mason Brown that will lead him on the 658. He was quickest in practice, as Deegan Fort will chase him on bike number 102. But Nate Tomer is right there as well, as the battle for second place, well, surprise, surprise, it's not battling off for the lead. It's a three-way battle for second place again.
Always happens out there, and Tomarini gets the back end of the machine slipping and sliding on the straightaway there, so he's certainly out there and trying to get further than the third placing he's sitting at the moment. I was camped next to the Tomarini camp overnight, and they were busily into the night preparing their bikes for today's race meeting, and gee, they've done a good job on getting their bike prepped up ready for the young bloke out there in third spot at the moment, but at this particular juncture, Mason Brown clearing away, and always, as always, on that Cobra, fast and furious.
Well, maybe you might be proved wrong, because now it's a battle for lead. Deegan Ford leaving it all hang out on the top side and almost went down. He chooses the bottom, though. That could have cost him. The bottom wasn't the way to go that time around. Obviously, with the auto, they don't have to worry about gear changing. It's just flat out get on that right wrist and turn it as hard as you can.
If we could fit on the bikes, you and I would be able to ride these, being autos.
It'll be a lot more easier to ride these things, as Mason Brown, with the luck of that, has been able to clear back away. So lucky enough for Mason Brown, he'll lead lap number 2 in a dominating fashion. So Brown has cleared off a long way, actually. And Deegan Fort will hold on to second place on the 102. So we have to wait for Nate Tomerini. I do apologise. They're a close gap. There's only 2 seconds between those two. And with that little bit of a mistake from Tomerini in that S-bend, that cost him everything.
Yes, indeed. He's riding the backside off that machine at the moment. A good run there from one of the other Cobras out there, an LB Reeve. And like we always say, I always do anyway, mate, these Cobras are pretty mean and fast machines as Charlie Butler goes through there. And Charlie is back in 5th posse at the moment.
You actually love these Cobras as much as you love the B-Firm NRG drink. And I'm only saying that so hopefully you may get another one of those delicious nectar treats. So halfway completed. 3 minutes down, 3.5 left to go. As there is your third place rider of Nate Tomerini, who is trying to close back down on Deegan Fort. And that time, though, Nate Tomerini followed Deegan Fort. That's where he lost all the time in that S-bend. And sadly, that time, he wasn't able to gain anything.
They work very hard, these youngsters, and as I said before, all the better for them being having the automatic machines. They just got to get on board and keep it going. And just a reminder that apart from the flag changing break we had here, this is a little bit like Speedway used to be in the old days, non-stop racing. It's absolutely awesome here today, the way they've been pushing on with the racing, mate.
Well, we haven't really gone through any real hurdles as of yet, but we're going to touch wood on that sort of situation because it is only early days. We are heading to the midway section of this opening round. Glad you could join us. You're looking at Deegan Fort, who runs in second place on bike 102 for Beat Firm NRG and Strickland Race Development, the lightweight motorcycle club rider. Holding on to Nate Tomerini, who actually closed the gap. So Tomerini made me a liar that time by. Is now 1.6 seconds. LB Reeve, have you already said, on bike 312. A great run from the rider who is based locally here in Wanneroo, from Charlie Butler, Ollie Burkett and Ryder Boland on bike 108 are all quite close, so 5th through 8th. It could be anyone's race, and it's Brax Johnson and Noah Thomas, but here is back. It's so close between these two again, and there was a lap competitor that got close. As Deegan Fort was trying to come through, he was able to clear away. I think that may have been Van Heberbley or Lily Hunt. It was the later of him, in fact. Lily Hunt was very lucky to not collect Nate Tomerini. So Deegan Fort may have to send her flowers.
I want you to tell me that these guys out there are not going quickly on the racetrack at the moment.
Oh, it's unbelievable the pace they go, and they will have 2 laps remaining because 1 minute is all completed, and it was Lily Hunt on the 7.22.
Oh!
For one big fall as well. Nate Tomarini has come down on the front straight. He's back on the bike.
And go.
But, yes, the bike went end over end as well. I caught the last section of it as I was looking at Lily Hunt's sponsors. But a blessing in disguise for Deegan Ford.
Well, Mum's down in the box below in the timing tower, and we'll be having a good look at what happened with the young bloke there in that particular corner when he come off, or just down from the corner, and she'll be kicking her head from side to side saying, come on, young Nate, you can do better than that. So he's certainly got a job ahead of him. Did he lose any positions? Has he got it back on the bike very quickly?
Well, he was lucky that he had a 20-second gap between himself and LB Reeve. So, as I said, a blessing in disguise for both riders, because LB Reeve now maybe laying the challenge on Nate Tomarini, but we'll have to wait to see as that is all said and done. The last lap board is out for Mason Brown. 1 to go.
And Brown certainly is the master of this circuit here at the moment, and doing a great job of being out in front, as we said before. Something like 20 seconds there was separating those 2 riders a little while ago when Tomarini came down. Deegan Ford bolting across the line there. He'll get the last lap board now. He doesn't have much further to go, and one of the other riders coming through here, I don't think it's Nate Tomarini, so there could be a bit of an issue out there with the 3rd place bike.
Exactly right. So a big, probably breath of fresh air as Ollie Burkett, a good run as well, to hold on to 5th place in this 50cc auto division.
Van Haverly got into a few issues coming right across near the finish line here, but recovered from that to be okay. So Mason Brown out front from Deegan Ford, LB Reeve up in the 3rd, Nate Tomarini back in the 4th with a bit of work to do out there at the moment. And at this stage, he's something like 47 seconds off the pace. So Tomarini has got a fair bit of work to do.
Just a little bit, as probably isn't really helping when he comes off so well. But Mason Brown, the 3rd generation motocross rider who started riding at 2 years old, could you believe, will come across the line and take the checkered flag in a convincing win where he lapped up to 5th place. 5 riders will stay on the lead lap in that one. Dominating to stay the least for bike 658.
They don't normally nominate as much as this, but I reckon that's just a trouble-free run, and nothing better than an awesome ride, really, mate.
Exactly right. Deegan Ford on bike 102 will come home in 2nd place. And we'll have to see if LB Reeve was able to hold on to Nate Tomarini for 3rd place. It was a second between the 2 of them. The last time of asking. And from what we can see from our vantage point up here in the box, LB Reeve will come home in 3rd. The winning margin was 25.841 seconds, and the quickest lap was done on lap number 3 by Mason Brown with a 125.641.
Yep, riders are getting the hands up treatment from the fence here as they make their way back into the pit area here, and it's great to see that everybody gives them a high five when they head back in, particularly those riders in that group, the 50cc Auto, who did a great job and got round here relatively unscathed. Tomarini came off, got back on board the bike, and did a pretty good job. Next group of riders up there will be the girls, 85 to 100 to 125cc, and the 200 to 250. And there's a fair bit of a break there. 15-second board is up. Hannah Stewart's out there with Jaylee Rimbas on bike 826. Olivia Webster, Phoebe Bronwyn, Madeline Druitt, and the addition to the program is Kate Lighton on bike 495. Ready for a start. They get going quickly. Wheels standing there, Jaylee Rimbas, but certainly the rider of the moment. They're going through turn 1 with a fine start out there. Hannah Stewart, who went down. Not Hannah Stewart. Rimbas. Oh, yeah. The flag marshal was in the way. Could not see a thing. Sorry about that, mate. I should be looking at the camera.
It would. That's why we have the camera. It is to save us, but it was Jaylee Rimbas that went down. So a good start from Hannah Stewart on bike 52, and probably will be helping.
Perfect start.
Well, she'll be probably looking behind her right now and thinking to herself, wow, I've got a big gap at the moment between anyone else. So the 52 machine for Penrite Oil and No Limits Moto will lead them into this opening moto. Race number 6 on your event program for the girls, 85 to 250cc. This one will be 10 minutes plus the 1 lap. So Jaylee Rimbas now trying to claw her way through the field again after that little bit of a mishap as the ladies, or girls in fact it is, charge their way through the back section. There's a gap between first and second. You could see first place just go across the camera line as they are chasing this second place battle. That includes Phoebe Bronwyn on the 730, who holds on to second position in a big surprise at the moment. All these riders really aided by the first corner mishap from Jaylee Rimbas, who now is starting to charge through and into third place and breathing down the 730 of Phoebe Bronwyn, who is holding on for grim death at the moment. Good start from Hannah Stewart, but she may have a race on her hands right now as coming through the field is Jaylee Rimbas, and now into second place.
This is going to be an awesome finish for the remaining laps of this race here at the moment. Jaylee Rimbas is giving it a very, very best shot around here. She comes up past our flag-waving spot on the racing circuit and past our commentary studio. Doing a great job at the moment, and she is just all fired up on the track. 16
seconds is the gap between first and second place, but Hannah Stewart as well. I think she may hold on to this one because she is giving it an absolute gangbuster effect as Rimbas again with all feet off the seat, off the pegs I should say, was going every way but straight into turn number 2. Still holds on. You can't say this lady is not riding the lights out of this bike.
No, it won't go any quicker for her. A few of the riders are having a few issues on that part of the racing circuit. Let's hope that there's no apparent problems down there. But as you said before, Jaylee Rimbas is throwing everything she can to try and make up that leeway, and that means riding very much harder than what she normally probably would do.
Well, she's going to have to do it, and it's because the gap is 16.952 seconds. That's a big margin to overcome in any division.
Yep, and it looks like the Rimbas family is separated again. Only one half of the sister combination competing today, and I guess that means the other one must be competing on the East Coast somewhere today, which is all good news for the Rimbas family. And as we said before, one of the girls competing on a regular basis on the East Coast of Australia, and leaving the other one to stay behind here and compete in the local racing here in Western Australia.
Got to give a big thumbs up for Phoebe Bronwyn as well. She was riding her heart out to hold on to that second position, but Jaylee Rimbas just charging away. So Hannah Stewart, though, on the Kawasaki. How long's it been since we've seen a Kawasaki up the front? It's been a while.
Yeah.
But this one definitely not letting her up just yet. She comes past the judge. Hannah Stewart leads. And I think this gap is going to be a consistent one.
Jaylee Rimbas is riding the bike very, very hard. Every corner is hard for her to get through and negotiate. I hope the bike is set up right for her, but she's just doing it the hard way at the moment.
So it was 16.9 seconds last time I'm asking. It's opened up to 23. Hannah Stewart riding the lights out of the 52 now. The last time we saw them, the 12 to 16 years, wasn't at Chidlow. It was at Cranbrook 2 rounds ago, because the girls are actually split into 2 groups and do half of the series. So for this 12 to 16 years, this is their final round. The last one at Cranbrook for Hannah Stewart. She didn't have the best of rides, and in fact in every race, a mishap really sidelined her and she didn't finish.
Ah, Oh, well, there you go.
You should remember this. You were there as well.
I do.
Well, then what are you going all well for? Obviously, you can't.
It's a while back.
Ugh.
I'm relying on your memory, which I've got to do from time to time.
So Hannah Stewart looking to bounce back as she's doing it in the best possible fashion by opening the gap to Rimbas. Phoebe Bronwyn still holds on to third place from Olivia Webster and Kate Lloydson on bike 495. Rounding out your top 5, Madeline Druitt, the last one to come past on bike 814.
Yes, I was just having a look at the break between those two riders, first and second out there on the track at the moment. As you said, you mentioned in the terms of seconds a little while ago, I was trying to have a look at the distance, and it's a fair break between first and second at the moment.
Yeah, well, 209 from Stewart is definitely what she needs to do, because Jaylee Rimbas still can't get into the 2-minute 10s with a 2:16. But a good run nonetheless after coming off to come through and get back into second place. So definitely got the positives. Has Jaylee Rimbas, but Hannah Stewart is a girl on a mission in this opening stanza for the girls, 85 to 250, and about to put Madeline Druitt a lap down.
We know the rider back in second had a few issues, but, you know, just from the heart out there at the moment, Morgan, what do you reckon about the ride of Hannah Stewart? I reckon it's superb.
Well, it's definitely a bounce back, to say the least, from her last one at Cranbrook, and the gap continues to grow. It's half its minute now. So you can almost take your glasses off in this one. Hannah Stewart bearing some massive mishap, even though there's just under 3 minutes remaining in this one, has really got one hand on the win for this opening race.
Yes, having a stroll in the park out there, the race leader at the moment, as they sometimes say in the classics.
It's a Sunday ride. That's what it is. It's a nice, brisk Sunday morning ride to get the paper.
And it's great stuff from Hannah Stewart there. One of the other riders had a bit of a mishap there, but recovered quite well as they head on around the track again. And it's Phoebe Bronwyn that's gone through. I'm not sure whether that's a pink bike out there or off pink, but never mind. We can tell you that Jaylee Rimbas, as you can have a look on your screen, very colourful in that pink out there. We're getting ready for our very next race meeting when the ladies will be there.
Well, I'm definitely digging the purple at the moment from bike 52, who holds on to this race lead, and with only a couple of laps to run in this one, should take out the win in the opening race. The Kawasaki looking for their first win in a long time here in WA, it feels like.
Sure is. They were a big player in the game a couple of years ago, and certainly they've bounced right back in this one, haven't they?
Exactly right. But there will be obviously another 2 laps completed with 1.5 minutes to run in Moto number 1 for the girls. 85 to 250. And it's a one-horse affair. Usually be talking about this battle for second place. Sadly, even Jaylee Rimbas has got a mortgage on that second place between herself and Phoebe Bronwyn. It was 33 seconds actually between those two the last time Rimbas and Bronwyn went across the line. And the way the bike 826 has gone in this opening one, after coming off in corner number 1, to bounce back the way she has is definitely a positive. Still hasn't been able to close the gap on Hannah Stewart, but nevertheless, definitely the positives to come out of this one is being able to get through the field.
Yes, indeed, and I'm sure that had she not come off, she would have been up maybe a little closer to Hannah Stewart up there at this stage, but she's got in that coveted second spot and just continuing to look over the shoulder and see how things are going with the riders behind, obviously realising that Hannah Stewart is long gone in this situation.
Well, she definitely would have been a closer gap between those two, but I wouldn't say that it would be the other way around, as the last lap board has actually come out. It looks like. Oh, no, it hasn't. We do apologise about that. Watching on forstyle.com.au or the 4 Hours Facebook app, you are watching your race leader come through, and she will actually greet the Octane Fabrication last lap board the next time she comes past the judge.
Well, there you go. So they're getting you some pretty quick times out there. The girls, 85 to 100 to 125 cc, and of course there's three distinct grades out there at the moment, and you can have a pretty mean machine and pretty low machine on 85 cc right through to 250. So it's a fairly big field, and certainly that number 52 has got plenty of grunt out there.
Well, it's enough grunt to set the field in a new dimension. She's almost back into the city. She's that far front. You're new to Western Australia. We are in the far north of the metropolitan area in WA for this round 5 event, as the last lap board is out for your race leader, Hannah Stewart, with one more circulation to go.
That's Kate Wrighton going through there on bike 495. Is got to go pretty well around there at the moment, but still putting in a fine performance. And I don't think Kate has been on the circuit here before at Wanneroo, and great to have the whole family involved in the racing here. Second place is just coming around now to get the last lap board, so that is the break. As Morgan said, between first and second, fairly substantial at the moment. That's just the way things go, and certainly a very fine ride by the race leader, who's got just over a half a lap left to go.
Exactly right, Graham. For the first time in a long time, you've actually hit the nail on the head with something. But you have to give all props to the girls, 12 to 16, with the pace that they've shown today.
It's gone. All right, so we're waiting for the third place bike to come through at the moment. That'll be Phoebe Bronwyn, and of course Olivia Webster, Kate Lighton, and Madeline Druitt are the other riders out there still at this stage, and we're going pretty well. At this stage, Madeline Druitt is the one that's got a fair bit of work to do. Hannah Stewart totally dominating right virtually from the outset. She won the whole shot, got in through turn number 1 very quickly, went straight on with the business of being out in front, and that's the way it turns out. We're getting the last lap board now. Phoebe Bronwyn with a bit of work to do in this one here, and Phoebe at the moment, believe it or not, is back in 3rd position at the moment. Lost Olivia Webster out there, and that will be Madeline Druitt coming through there now, and not much further to go for our race leader, who has ridden an absolutely impeccable race in Hannah Stewart, and is going to take out the first moto in the ladies today, the girls competition today.
Past the checker flag, she'll go Stewart with a dominating win, and I hear the top 3 riders will stay on the lead lap as Olivia Webster comes across the line to come home in 4th place in moto number 1 of the girls, 85 to 250 cc. Stewart, nevertheless, dominant.
Yep, and the high fives coming out from the team members down there. Hugs and kisses and whatever for a very good ride. And it was a very, very good ride from Hannah Stewart.
Exactly right, and the gap stayed around the half a minute bracket that time, as Jaylee Rimbas will come through 46 seconds behind the race winner on the KTM 826. So Rimbas in second. So Phoebe Bronwyn with a good run on bike 730 will come home and round out your top 3 as we wait for Madeline Druitt to come past, as Kate Lewin will come home in 5th place and actually put the bike down as well going into the start chute. Colin Brayshaw, obviously the director for fourstyle.com.au, as we get set for the next one. Thanks to EXP Resources, this is the 125 13 to 16 Moto 1.
Big field for this one as well. Jeremiah Edward riding on bike 940 today for Phoenix Handlebars. West Reed on board the Yamaha on 622. Jake Turner's out there, one I forget about every now and then. He's on the 2nd page of nominations because he's got a big number, 604. Mason Payne on bike 489. Javier Mutter on bike 391. Then we've got Ben Cook on board 356 for Graphic Addiction. Jay White. Zach Safiotti for CJC Motorsport. Jai Tomarini riding on 174 today for Novus Auto Glass. Sebastian Edward for Phoenix Handlebars. We've got Cadge Radcliffe riding for Unique Racing. Dylan Walsh on board the KTM for Joyce Suspension and GP Wholesale. Brock Flynn on bike number 60 for Former Boots and Steve Kramer. Seth Manuel riding for the Collie team for Bolt Everywhere and Rock Oil. Bailey Smith on bike number 51 for Southwest Yamaha. As we see Hayden O'Leary on bike number 46. Cody Chittick riding the 69 for my good friends out there and our good friends, Be Firm NRG and Strickland Race Development. Liam Atkinson on bike number 27 for Mini Diggers Demolition. We've got Kane Alexander on board the Husqvarna for CJC Motorsport. Campbell McMahon on bike number 20 for PBS Racing. And Casey Kings on board number 9 for Yilgarn Plumbing and Gas.
So the last rider to come through, Madeline Druitt, the last one to come. Past the judge to greet the checkered flag. And the thumb is up. Thanks to EXP Resources. Moto 1. 21 riders to start this one.
Who's going to win the whole shot?
That's going to be hard. I'm going to stay in pure. I'm going to say this is just going to be an absolute lung buster like we saw already for race number 3 on today's program. Race number 7 is going...
Pick one. I'll pick Atkinson on bike 27. There you go.
I'm staying partial to the fact of being a commentator. I'm just here for the love of the event.
You've got to have a chance to see what's going to happen here. They've got some issues here with one of the riders there. Oh, Walsh has changed position. I don't really know what happened there, but Walsh was the late arrival through the gate and has just arrived in time for the start. And they were waiting for him, actually. So there you go. 15-second board is up, mate. That is an unbelievable piece of work on the part of Walsh's team to get it out on the track. In the gates, ready to go. 10 seconds to go, and we are away. Will it be Cody Chittick or young Atkinson that's going to get away first? I reckon it'll be 27. We'll see at the start here. 4, 3, 2, 1. They go very quickly. A big start on the outside there by one of the other riders, but they're keen to get through turn 1. Once again, a traffic jam there like the Causeway at 7:30 in the morning. What an awesome start, Morgan.
Cody Chittick got out to a good lead. Liam Atkinson and Brock Flynn, your top 3 from the whole shot in turn number 1. Campbell McMahon as well with a good start, looking to the inside of Dylan Welsh for that 4th position. But it's the Yamaha out in front who leads the KTM of Atkinson, who tries to rail around the outside. So like what he was last time around, last time it was trying to fend off Seth Manuel. Cody Chittick has to deal with the 27 of Liam Atkinson.
Unbelievable stuff here, and Cody Chittick is the one that you've got to watch out for because he's been in dynamite form in recent weeks, but you can take nothing away from Atkinson either.
You can't take anything away from these top 3. Remember, Brock Flynn in his opening race today went down and was back to the tail of the field. Now with a better start, he's right behind these 2 riders as here comes a whole hog around the outside with Chittick almost losing the front. The front wheels got very sideways. He was lucky to stay on and lucky to hold on to the race lead.
He almost stalled it going through the corner that time. I cannot believe it. I don't really know what happened apart from the front end almost locking up for him.
Yeah, he always went over the handlebars as they both try the inside line in this final corner. Lap number 1 is only held by a bike length. Oh, Cody Chittick, who's doing everything right when it comes to holding the 27 at bay. Cutting him off where he knows where the 27 likes to ride. Atkinson has to pull a rabbit out of a hat as the form rider today has been Cody Chittick. Liam Atkinson still running in second place ahead of Brock Flynn, Campbell McMahon, with Seth Manuel rounding out your top 5 of this 10-minute plus 1 lap extravaganza. And it is an absolute lung buster with the top 2 in a different postcode.
Unbelievable stuff here, and the people have got a bit of work to do out there are Seth Manuel, as we said before, and Brock Flynn. But there's probably about 2 seconds separating already. First from second at the moment, which is unbelievable stuff. McMahon doing pretty well at this stage in the group on bike number 20.
Well, Brock Flynn doesn't have any work to do this time around because he's already in 3rd place.
Yep.
So he's okay there. Campbell McMahon, a good start. Seth Manuel still rounds out your top 5. So I really don't think he has to push because he has a good start on his hand. But these two, once again, the Form 2 ahead of a field of hungry riders as Dylan Welsh actually went down on bike 61. We'll have to find the word out as he did have to charge to the gate at a very late stage, I should say, rather or not. And he doesn't look like he'll come past to greet the judge for lap number 1. So the top two have bolted away from Brock Flynn as it's a little bit of breathing room now for Chittick over Liam Atkinson. It was 0.14 the first time around. It's now 0.8 with Chittick at 148.3 with Atkinson putting a 149.0. Atkinson still trying every single lane that's available to him because the fastest lane at the moment is being held by the race leader, and to get past you have to try something different.
Yes, indeed. And Campbell McMahon looked to be a pretty quick runner around that time, just ahead of Jake Turner, Bailey Smith and Cadge Radcliffe out there at this stage. But certainly Cody Chittick doing it very nicely at the moment on board his trusty model, and certainly proving to be one to watch out for all day. Atkinson is the guy that's got not the job to do, but he's got to have the better line, and it's all happening, mate, out there.
Exactly right. He's closed into a bike length, then looks to the inside. Change for the lead has happened, but it was only momentarily. Drag race, and the Yamaha has got the HP up against the KTM. Liam Atkinson got past, gets back on the ground earlier than Chittick, and another one happens. This time it's the KTM that's got it better than the Yamaha. The outside up against the inside. Getting on the power quicker was Atkinson, and he'll hold on. New race leader now coming to the 27.
Yes, indeed, and that was a real good, some passing manoeuvres straight out of the book for that one, and great to see a change in placings out there in terms of the first lap was a beauty. This is a good one, and gee, they're getting up some airtime out there and making it look very interesting. What's the time break now between 1 and 2 at the moment, Morgan?
Was a come pass for complete lap number 3, Liam Atkinson, a 146.6. Where did that come from? Quickest lap of the weekend. Chittick now has a gap of 1.8 seconds. Then it's Brock Flynn and Seth Manuel. The top two riders, the only ones into the 140 bracket at the moment, with Brock Flynn and Seth Manuel still in 150. Wait for Jake Turner, who's ready to come through and make his claim inside the top 5 as he starts to close the gap on Campbell McMahon, who holds on to that coveted 5th spot. But Liam Atkinson, now all he has to do is stay on the bike.
Yes, indeed, and hopefully it's going to be interesting here whether Brock Flynn has been able to make up the leeway between himself and Cody Chittick. Remember, these two riders got going very, very quickly at the early outset here. Of course, it was Cody that got going quickly. At this stage, the event being led by Atkinson, back to Chittick, and Flynn is, in my terms, a quick mover, mate.
Well, the update on Dylan Welsh is able to be given to us. He is pushing the bike up the pits. So drama for Dylan Welsh. Maybe it wasn't a motor drama for himself that saw him cost it, as your 3rd place rider on bike 60, Brock Flynn. It's a KTM that leads a Yamaha leading a Husqvarna. So 3 different varieties out in front.
Rider out there waving the yellow flag, flag marshal very strongly out there, and at one stage waved the ambo flag. So I'm not really sure what the situation is out there at the moment, whether that rider's not trying to, that flag is not trying to attract somebody's attention out there on the bridge, the KTM bridge.
So your leader actually may have to fight back a challenge at the end of this one with 2 minutes and 40 seconds to run, as the ambulance flag is actually on the Di Candiglio KTM overpass. So we do have a drama on the track at the moment. So hopefully the medics will come through to help out. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, that gap is closing for the race leaders. Cody Chittick maybe just was playing with Liam Atkinson and making him feel like he had the better ride as they're about to put down a lap on Hayden O'Leary on bike 46.
I'm not a gambling man because gambling's not allowed in motorsport, but I would bet money that on board the KTM bridge out there would be Seth Manuel's mum.
So Atkinson holding on. I have got a funny feeling that Cody Chittick is playing games with your race leader, just with the fact of how quickly he's able to close in that gap when he really needs to.
All right, well, we'll keep an eye on that one out there at the moment. You reckon that he might make a challenge on the last couple of laps in this photo?
Well, again, as I was saying earlier on, that Liam Atkinson had to find different lines to get past, and he did. But Cody Chittick, just in some areas of this track, looks quicker.
Yeah, and probably the style of Atkinson is very much different to Cody Chittick. And, of course, as we've seen in the past, in the practice session, Atkinson wasn't able to work out the lead.
And what's going to help them as well is the array of lap riders that they've got ahead of him. Atkinson was a smart one, a ret to the inside. Oh, sorry, I should say the outside. The inside was Cody Chittick, and Atkinson almost got the fender from that lap rider. That was ever so close between them. You would have been able to just fit a piece of paper in between that lap rider and Liam Atkinson.
Yes, I think you might be right about the guy back in second posse at the moment, although he's showing a bit of caution out there at the moment, trying to make up that ground. Atkinson proving to be the master charger around the track at the moment, and Cody Chittick, the rider with all the work to do. Atkinson is the one that's got a bit of a different style about him at the moment. He's got the race lead, and that's the most important thing out there at the moment.
Oh, exactly right, but again, back to an earlier conversation we had. There's times when you'd rather be the chaser, there's times you'd rather be the chasee, and when you're in thick traffic like that, you'd rather be chased.
Yeah.
Or you'd rather be the chaser, I should say.
That's right.
Because when it comes to that situation, you can see where the leader's going to go, and if he does make the mistake, which so many times has happened before when you're trying to get through slower competitors, being that second place rider, you've got a bit more time to think and say, this is where I'm going to go.
Yes. It could be all the meeting about the chaser or the chasee here today at this wonderful racing circuit. And we're going to wait and see whether it's going to be Atkinson or Chittick that's going to take this one out.
Well, it was 0.6 of a second last time around, and there's another two lap riders who are fighting for position ahead of them. Atkinson went to the top. They'll greet the last lap board thanks to Octane Fabrication. Grandstand finish coming up, if you don't mind, in this opening moto for the 125 13 to 16 years. And don't write off Cody Chittick just yet. There might be a whole breath of fresh air now, because in the forefront there is no lap competitors ahead of these two riders. So it may be just what the doctor ordered for Liam Atkinson.
Guys back in third and fourth, Brock Flynn and Seth Manuel, they're certainly keeping the pace going back there. They're not right up with the race leader and the second place machine out there, but third and fourth, Flynn and Manuel going okay at the moment, and Campbell McMahon also putting in a pretty good run there on bike number 20.
Yeah, Campbell McMahon has fallen back to to fifth place. Jake Turner's the one that has made a few mistakes throughout this race, but Brock Flynn may have to watch out because Seth Manuel is putting on a charge in this final lap. So watch out for that one. I'm quite entertained with that battle for third place as well. But these two riders, yet again, just stellar performance.
Yes, and I really didn't think that Atkinson would be up to the task today. There's still absolutely nothing in it. But Cody Chittick is the one that with the work to do out there at the moment. Atkinson proving me wrong.
Well, in the opening one that they competed in, which was the 150 to 250, 13 to 16, it was the opposite way around. Bearing in mind, Atkinson did have a bit of a mistake, but when he stays on the bike, he is so easily the most dominant rider in these two divisions. For the EXP Resources 125 13 to 16 years, the KTM takes a win on bike 27. Liam Atkinson in a barnstorming event takes a win from Cody Chittick.
Beautiful riding by the top two riders out there. In fact, everybody in this one here. It was just awesome. This will be Brock Flynn coming around there to grab the action for the third, and a big finish from Flynn in the latter part of the journey there, right back to Seth Manuel, who got going very nicely indeed, and I think probably one of the lap riders out there in that group, Mason Payne, going through there.
So it will be Atkinson, Chittick and Brock Flynn, your top three. Fourth place will be Seth Manuel, with rounding out your top five, Cam McMahon on bike 20. So the winning margin was 1.364 seconds, with the quickest lap of the race done on the lap that Atkinson got past Chittick with a 146.676.
Wonderful camera shot there of the smoke-free event sign as the riders head back into the pit area. And of course, this is a smoke-free venue here at Wanneroo today, and there are signs everywhere telling everybody all about that.
Exactly right. If you do want to have a cigarette, please exit the facility, but save your money and your life as well. Leave smoking in your trucks. Did you know the increases to the tobacco tax pushes the average price of a packet of 25 cigarettes to over $20? Thanks to this and other initiatives, over the next 3 years, it is estimated that around 3 million Australians will be propped to stop smoking. For your help to quit, call the Quit line today on 137848 or visit makesmokinghistory.org.au. You can also find them on social media. Look up at MSH_WA on Twitter, and their Facebook is Make Smoking History WA. We move on now to event number 8, the Quad 250, 13 to 16 over the 10 minutes.
Sure, we are ready to go here with the quads, and already Sweep making his way around the circuit here after the completion of the last event here. We'll give you the starters for this one here. Josh McQuaid on bike number 14, the Yamaha for Road and Race Development and Corrupt Industries. Zara Porter riding on bike number 15 today for West Coast Motorcycles, and wow! Photography. Jade Merrilies on board bike number 26 today for Goldspield's Tyres and Racing, Britam Logistics and Motorex. Deegan Lowe on bike number 34, 12-second board is up, we're ready to go. Nicole McDonald, Amber Boland, Jack Sawyer, Bailey Langridge and Amira Schmidt ready to go. 5-second board is with us now. 9:45. Amira Schmidt's got to get away to a pretty good start here. None better to head up through turn 1. Josh McQuaid got a beautiful start. Keeps it low down there. That number 14 bike is going like a rocket at the moment. One of the riders never got going there at all, and that is a bit of an issue in itself. The rest of the field has gone sweeping on by, and just an awesome start to the racing here today. And very quickly, the one that never got away is got to have a bit of a look who it might have been. Bailey Langridge, I think. Did you get a number on that one at all, Morgan?
No, I did not, but look at this battle for the race lead. There's 4 of them all going for it as well. And so the quads again.
And this is like the practice session, mate.
No, this isn't the practice. This is the real thing this time around.
Yeah.
Last time, it was the quads that just seemed to turn it on. I've got a little bit of a crush on quads. I'm not going to lie. I really enjoy this racing.
You bought a dirt cart.
Yes, I did. Yes, I bought a...
should have bought a quad.
Nah, maybe should have, but I don't think I have the body to ride these quads. These riders really do get their body moving to get these bikes around this track, and I don't think I have the ability or the mental strength to do it.
I thought you were going to say the skill.
Oh, and that as well. I didn't want to put myself any more of a hamper, but it's a two-way battle at the moment. The 34 and the 14 again, like they have been all so far. In fact, or maybe just the 14 and Amir Schmidt on the 945. Wow.
Third and fourth are providing a bit of action out there as well, mate.
Yeah, Nicole McDonald's in that battle as well on bike number 42.
Up and over.
But there has been a change for the race lead again. And I have to think it may be Amir Schmidt on bike 945.
Well, she set the pace up pretty early there at the start, and hopefully this will be her in front coming around the start of their second lap.
It is, in fact, Amir Schmidt on the 945 who got the better of Josh McQuaid and Deegan Lau. Those two riders have had the monopoly of all the quad racing behind her, but we may be in for someone to break down the doors of the 34 and 14. Amir Schmidt leads by 0.6 of a second. and there's nothing in it between the top three. Lau and McQuaid are also there, with McQuaid running in second place. But hold on, Amir Schmid. Can she hold on?
This is a fine start, and at the moment, all eyes are on the machine of Deegan Lowe, number 34, who's up in third position. But as the late Eric Dyson would say, you could throw a handkerchief over the first three of them out there at the moment. They've broken away, and there's a big fight on for fourth and fifth out there, which is unbelievable in the quad section on their second lap around this journey.
And that includes Jack Sawyer and Nicole McDonald. We can't include Amber Boland, Jade Merrilees, and Bailey Langridge. But it's a three-way battle for the quads again. Who would have pictured Amir Schmid be ahead of Deegan Lau and Joshua McQuaid? McQuaid maybe just can't get through. But then again, Amir Schmid had to get past McQuaid to take the lead.
Somewhere along the picture, we won't say much about it, but there's a bit of home track advantage here. And Amira Schmidt and Josh McQuaid, both members of this club here, so they get plenty of track experience here at Wanneroo.
Well, we don't get much racing as well, as most of these riders are always on the road, as McQuaid was very sideways. And drama for the 14, but he is still there. How can you be so sideways and still so close to your leader?
Awesome stuff from McQuaid at the moment, as you said. I don't know how he's keeping the machine going out there. He's built some air time, and he's working across the saddle sideways there as we come around for the start of the very next lap here. And this is an absolutely awesome run here by Amira Schmidt here on the race circuit at the moment. And there's going to be something happening here, I reckon. The pressure's right on.
Here we go. Right to the outside, they almost touch wheels, but the 14 decides the better plan is to stay inside. Just hopefully hope for a mistake from Amir Schmidt. But I don't think it's going to happen because she is riding what could be almost picture perfect. The 14's got the horsepower, the 945 has got the place to be. McQuaid's still the quickest on track, but it's 0.5 of a second separating the two.
So it's certainly home track advantage for these two riders running 1 and 2 at the moment, and they've certainly put more laps than anybody else on this particular racing circuit, and they're doing just an awesome job of riding out there 1 and 2 at the moment.
Can't forget as well, Jack Sawyer is up to 4th place on the 1-2-2, passing Nicole McDonald, so don't write off Sawyer just yet. We may say a 4-way battle for this race lead before this race is over. And sadly, we're already halfway through this one.
Gee, they're quick, these guys today. I don't know whether it's just me or what, but this racing circuit, but they seem to be going very, very quick on this racing track today, and that is just awesome stuff. And once again, McQuaid starting to get right up in amongst them here, and this is an awesome ride, mate, by McQuaid.
Don't write off McQuaid, who's been the dominant one. I think you mean Amir Schmidt. She's the one that we have to talk about as a bit of a push and shove. And the pass was made. Who was knocking on the door? It was McQuaid, and the door was opened. A bit of Morse code on the back bumper has helped McQuaid take the lead. Amir Schmidt now has to apply the challenge on the 14.
Yes, they've got to work hard now ahead of her at this one, and certainly McQuaid was getting ready to pop the question all the way around the circuit here as they head on past the finish line here and the commencement of their very next lap, and he's doing it very well. How are we placed for third at the moment, mate?
Deegan Lau runs in third place, but I did say don't count out Jack Sawyer as of yet because that gap is closing between third and fourth as well. But McQuaid knocked on the door and then just pushed it open and pushed his way through. Well, sometimes that's what you need, is a bit of push and shove to get through. And the 14 wasn't scared to give the old heave-ho past Amir Schmidt. I don't mean the Dockers heave-ho, because hopefully they don't have it today.
Yeah, unlike, don't tell me there again, unlike speedway racing here where there's no push and shove, well, it's not legal anyway. You can do a certain amount in motocross racing here, and it is condoned in the racing rule books, and it's all down to lines going through the corners.
I've got a big shout out as well to Jay Merrilees, who's now up to 6th place on bike number 26. So a positive run for the lady rider. But it's all McQuaid now, who has put in another quick lap of the race. Is now a 2 minutes 9.135. And certainly he will have 2 laps to run next time by.
Jade Meredith, I mentioned before, about to start commencement of some very long trips across the East Coast. They're coming back to Perth for another meeting and then heading back across to Canberra. So they've got some long kilometres to travel over the next few weeks, and we wish them very well and hope that Jade handles the situation for the national titles in Canberra. On behalf of all of us here in West Australia, wish you very well.
So a big change from Jegan Lau, who probably has to ride a bit more attackingly in this situation with Jack Sawyer trying to find his way through the field, who was well down the field. But 2 to go for your race leader. And don't write off Amir Schmidt just yet, because she is bouncing back and retaliating to every punch that Joshua McQuaid tries and blows.
Yep, he's in a situation where he cannot afford to do anything wrong out there, because Schmidt is right on the gas pedal out there at the moment and doing a very good job, as you said, Morgan.
And Deegan Lau has answered the call from Jack Sawyer. He may have looked behind and saw that the 1-2-2 was closing that gap, because Lau was quicker that time around than Sawyer. Nicole McDonald and Amber Boland, these 2 lady riders are going to be in for the kill as well in these final couple of laps, because 5th and 6th, there's only 3 bike lengths between those 2.
Yes, indeed, and Amber Boland is on board the Honda, is another member of the club here, so interesting stuff. A fair bevy of riders, members of this club here in this quad event, and certainly they are doing it very well on the dirt at the moment.
Well, the Body Empire Clothing Yamaha of Jack Lobb, you already said, one of the riders who is a member of this club and leading it quite comfortably after being the man doing all the chasing. He probably feels a little bit more comfortable with that clean air.
Yes, indeed, and I'm not sure how you're going on the times out there, but I reckon Deegan Lowe seems to be sort of riding a little bit better than the young Sawyer out there at the moment, and I reckon moving around there pretty quick, so not all that far off the pace in 3rd at the moment.
Well, you're about 50% right. He is faster than Jack Sawyer, but the gap's about constant at that 3 seconds, so don't write him off just yet. And obviously, we know that plenty of things can happen, especially when you got lap riders, including the 222 of Bailey Langridge, who goes a lap down on your race leader, who will greet the Octane Fabrication last lap board. And from what was going to be an exciting finish, he's starting to open up to be a bit more of a convincing win, with a 2 minute 6.991 as well for the second to last lap from Josh McQuaid.
Not wasting any time, McQuaid on the race circuit here on his final journey home here, and it's been a beauty, and certainly a very quick one for the quads out there. As we said before, they've been putting in some fast time in the practice sessions here, and this race, their first moto of the day, no exception for him out there at the moment. And certainly McQuaid, as he goes past the Reese Plumbing sign there, is starting to get all fired up, and he's probably moved up into what will be a winning break at the moment over Amira Schmidt back in 2nd.
And also as well, Deegan Lau is nowhere to be seen. He didn't go past the line. So we'll have to find out what the call is with bike 34. We don't see any yellow flags, I should say.
Yeah, right over the top part of the circuit there, and the back part.
So drama for bike 34, who was running in 2nd place. But that is a massive thumbs up for Jack Sawyer, who's now into position number 3 ahead of Nicole McDonald and Amber Boland. These 2 are going to ride it out right to the end.
Well, for whatever reason, Deegan Lowe's bike has not been able to get manoeuvred off or out of the way, and our flag down the bottom there indicating with that yellow flag that all the riders need to show a bit of caution for the situation that has arisen from that part of the track.
But luckily enough, there has been No hit mishaps for the 14 to get through. Who had to do it the hard way in this one. But obviously, we'll be very happy with the performance that is run on bike number 14 for Empire Clothing and West Coast Motorcycles. For the Yamaha on bike number 14, Jack Lobb takes out the win in moto number 1 of the 250 quads, ahead of a very impressive Amir Schmidt on 9.45.
Yep, I can expect big things from her a little bit later on in the program here with Lobb, a pretty good winner there, but certainly Amir Schmidt right on the pace there as well.
Jack Sawyer, well, you got to really say it was handed to him on a silver platter, but he took it with both hands and yanked it. So Sawyer will come home in third place, some 23 seconds behind your race leader. It was McQuaid, Schmidt and Sawyer, with McQuaid's win by 4.456 seconds with his best lap on the second to last lap with a 2-minute 6.991. McQuaid, Schmidt, Sawyer, McDonald, Boland come across the line, with Jade Merrilees coming home in 6th place. Bailey Langridge 7th, and an on finisher for Deegan Lau.